Let's do 20.14. Calculate the number of grams. So you have grams, you have aluminum. You know aluminum is going to become aluminum plus 3. You also know you're going to need 3 electrons for every 1 mole of aluminum to make it plus 3. Okay, produced in 1 hour, okay, by electrolysis of molten AlCl3. So you're taking Al plus 3 and you're giving it 3 electrons to become Al solid. And remember, the goal of electrolysis is to make an active metal. This is the active metal with the electrons still intact and neutral. Okay, and the solid is neutral. If the electrical current is 10 amps, so let's go ahead and think about 10 amps. What is amps? Okay, amps is current. It is the amount of charge per unit time. So the way I remember it is American Chemical Society. So 10 amps is equal to 10.0 coulombs for every second. Okay, that's a conversion. You're also going to need Faraday's constant, 96,485 coulombs for every 1 mole of electron. That's another conversion. You're also going to need, I believe, 1 mole of aluminum. You will need 3 electrons, 3 moles of electrons. So you'll need all that. You're always going to start with a singleton. So these are all conversion. That's a conversion. This singleton only has 1 unit. So I start there. Okay, so 1 hour. So I have here, I need seconds. That will give me to coulombs. Coulombs will get me to moles. Moles will get me to aluminum, and moles to grams of aluminum. Very simple. Go ahead and pause the video and try that yourself. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. Okay, now I'm going to use this one right here. 1 second is 10.0 coulombs. Okay, then I use this already. Then I'm going to use this one. 96,485 coulombs is what I'll get if I have a mole of electrons. Okay, I used this one already. Then I'm going to do 3 moles of electrons is what I'll need for every 1 mole of aluminum. Okay, I'm really reducing aluminum plus 3, so I can do aluminum plus 3 here, but the molar mass is the same, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so 1 mole of aluminum is 26.98 grams. And that will give me how much aluminum I will make. And if you do the math, you should end up with 3.36 grams of aluminum is what you will produce if you give it 10 amps and you let it go for an hour. Okay? So let's try these practice exercises just for more practice so you feel really comfortable. Go ahead and pause the video and try this yourself. Okay, so you have a half reaction for the formation of magnesium. So here I want to make magnesium, and magnesium is in the group 2, so magnesium is normally plus 2. I'm going to have to give it 2 electrons, force 2 electrons on there, so now I have a magnesium solid. Upon electrolysis of MgCl2, here's the equation I just wrote up there. Okay. Calculate the mass of magnesium, so grams of magnesium, formed upon the passage of 60.0 amps for a period of this many seconds. So again, this is, don't start with that because ACS, American Chemical Society. So this 60 amps really means 60.0 coulombs for every 1 second. That's a conversion. So start with this one right here, 4 times 10 to the 3 seconds, which is really 4,000 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to start there, 4,000 seconds. Okay, pause the video and do this yourself. Okay, good. So seconds would be, I'm going to use this one now. 1 second is 60.0 coulombs. Then I'm going to use Faraday's constant, 96,485 coulombs for every 1 mole of electrons. I'm going to need 2 moles of electrons for every 1 mole of magnesium. And 1 mole of magnesium has a mass of 24.31 grams. And that will give me 30.2 grams of magnesium. Wow, that's a lot of magnesium. Solid with electrons still intact. Okay? Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and try this one yourself. Okay, so this one's asking for how many seconds would be required to produce 50 grams of magnesium. Now you're telling it that I want to make 50.0 grams of magnesium. Okay, that's my singleton. That's what I start with. If you have a current of 100 amps. So American Chemical Society, that's the same as chemical society. The current is the amount of charge per unit time. Okay, so that's the same thing. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video, try it. Okay, change this to moles. Simple. 24.31 grams magnesium, 1 mole of magnesium. Easy, right? 1 mole of magnesium. How many electrons will that give you? Or will you need to make that? I'm going to need 2 moles of electrons, right? Because it used to be Mg plus 2. Now, according to Faraday, 1 mole of electrons has 96,485 coulombs of charge. According to the current, I have 100.0 coulombs for every 1 second, and that should be the answer. 3.97 E3 seconds is how long you need to make this electrolytic cell to go.